We hear a lot about building green, but have you thought about a building this big? Let's go inside and check out how they made this stadium the greenest in the NFL.
It's a Sunday ritual in the fall. Large stadiums filled with rabid fans cheering on their favorite team. On game day at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, everything is 49ers red and gold. But underneath the saturation of team colors, there's a lot of green. The stadium was different from the day it opened in 2014, with its network of beams and sweeping open space. But there's a lot more to the stadium than architectural style. It's one of the first to receive the U.S. Green Building Council's LEED Gold certification. Jack Hill is project executive for the 49ers.
It's a series of steps that you have to take. You actually have a scorecard, and you track your progress on a scorecard.
Leave it to a 5-time Super Bowl champion team to embrace a new way to score, even in the field of LEED certification, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. That means a lot of planning in advance.
You take your design, your energy model, how much energy you use in the stadium, your recycling efforts ongoing and through construction.
Wow, so even before the football team ever hit the field, Levi Stadium was racking up points with solar panels and energy efficiency.
So we've got 49 racks of panels. There's 1,186 individual panels. There's some here, and there's some actually on the bridges that connect Levi Stadium to the parking area.
And here in the California sunshine, those photovoltaic cells can make a lot of power.
It generates about half of a megawatt. And when you add that up, collect that on a 365-day effort, you will offset our 10-day 49er game load. So we can say that we're net neutral for the 49er games.
And when fans use the restrooms, they'll also be going green.
We're fortunate enough that we're here in Santa Clara. They've got a great reclaimed water system, so we took advantage of that. So if you'll see the field irrigation, you'll see the 2,500 water fixtures that we have between the toilets and urinals and sinks are all low flow and are all hooked up to this reclaimed water.
Up to 85% of the water use of the stadium is reclaimed. That's a huge number. The stadium also gets huge points for locating near Silicon Valley's light rail line. Mass transit means fewer cars.
So parking and transportation is kind of, one of the challenges when you have 70,000 people coming to a big building like this. So out of the gate we had some challenges, but I think we've done a really good job of trying to get people acclimated.
Stadium General Manager Jim Mercurio explains not everyone who visits the stadium comes for football.
Whether it was the Grateful Dead when we had 150,000 Deadheads, to 50,000 One Directioners, to 70,000 49er faithful. And it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes, but it's the absolute joy in being able to serve those different populations.
Visitors don't expect to see a green stadium, so the team wants to let them know what goes into being sustainable.
It's a big building. You got 70,000 people that are constantly coming in here, so we're looking to educate them a little bit of what we kind of do in terms of sustainability efforts.
When visitors look for bins to get rid of their trash, there are 3 options instead of 1, and those bins are everywhere.
Sometimes people aren't necessarily familiar with what goes in landfill, what goes in compost, what goes in recyclable. So we're really trying to have 3 different containers that way, so we can kind of keep the landfill garbage can a little bit smaller and everything else much bigger.
Recycling is also a big message when fans get hungry.
Whether it's from trash receptacles or the different products that we use at the food and beverage concession stands, the boats, for example, or the wrappers that we may use, or the cups and things of that nature.
Levi Stadium is literally green from the playing field to its rooftop.
So we're on the roof at Levi Stadium, and there's a garden here. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, this is a great spot, and the idea behind this was to create a space that was unusual, which clearly it is. It allows us to show off some of our green and sustainability features here at Levi Stadium. You'll see a lot of succulent plants that are low water usage, but they thrive very well because they're in full sun. And I was here when these plants were put in originally. There's 16 species of plants. If you're a 49ers fan, you know the number 16 is somewhat sacred. That's Joe Montana's jersey number.
The native plants are also drought resistant, of course.
This system that we've got here also acts as additional insulation for our roof, which helps us on our energy model. So everything that you see out here in some way is related to the sustainability.
Even the redwood on the planter boxes is recycled from this historic hangar at nearby Moffett Field. In the 1930s, it housed naval airships.
They had a project where they pulled a lot of this wood out of that hangar, and so we were fortunate enough to be able to reuse it, not only in these planters, but we've got it in several places throughout the stadiums.
We wanted to be a first, we wanted to be a leader, and the Levi Stadium allowed us that platform to be able to do that.
In February of 2016, the stadium was showcased in the biggest television spectacle of the year, Super Bowl 50.
In terms of opening up the doors to 75,000 new fans and faces, and I think it's an opportunity not only for us to showcase Levi Stadium, but Santa Clara and San Francisco, the Silicon Valley, as a region that says, hey, we can do anything. I spend more time here than I do at home. I spend more time here with this family than I do my family. So if you're going to do that, you have to love it, and I love it.